Hi, I'm Trey, and this is Daily Bread. All right, today I want to talk about the debt snowball plan. This is a plan that's been popularized quite a bit in the financial world as far as being a simplistic way for people to pay off their debt. And basically, the essence of this particular plan is to take all of your debts and put them in order of the amounts and pay them off in that order from smallest to largest. And what that does is it allows you to get small wins at the beginning of the debt repayment plan so that you'll have sort of a psychological effect that'll allow you to continue, and it'll give it, you'll have that first little success, and that'll give you the confidence to continue with this plan versus paying everything in the order of, let's say, the highest interest rate, which we're not going to go so much into that. That would be called the avalanche, debt avalanche, basically. And that's another type of debt repayment plan that people use. And just to compare it, it basically places all of your debts in the order of highest to lowest interest rates. And you would pay them off in that order from high to low. And what that does is it's actually this mathematically it's the superior way to pay your debts off. But for the sake of this video, I'm trying to show you the debt snowball because it has more of a psychological effect, and it actually makes it easier for a lot of people to pay their debts off because a lot of people need that extra push. They need that success at the beginning of the process of paying off the debt, so that they'll gain that discipline and that confidence to continue with it. Because sometimes, your results are more important than being mathematically specific, when it comes to paying debt off. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to break down a hypothetical situation where a person may have, let's say, 3 different debts, and they're trying to pay them off. They have a couple credit cards and maybe a car loan. So in this example, we're going to have a loan A, a loan B, and a loan C. Loan A is a credit card with $2,000 balance, 18% interest rate, and a $60 minimum. Loan B is a credit card with a $5,000 balance, 15% interest rate, and a $150 minimum. Loan C is a car loan, or any loan that's similar to a car loan, with a balance of $15,000, 6% interest rate, and a $350 minimum. Now, within this hypothetical situation, this person has $600 extra that are available to go towards these debts, along with the minimum amounts. They have the minimum amounts and they can pay those. They've been paying those every month. And now they have an extra $600 that's coming in, and they want to put that towards their debt. Okay. In this situation, they're going to use the debt snowball. So what they'll do is, on that smallest debt, loan A, which is credit card A, they're going to pay an extra $600 on top of the $60 minimum. If they do that, then that first credit card, that first loan, should be paid off in around 4.7 months, which is close to 5 months, almost 5 months. And then card B would be paid off in around 10 months. The car loan would be paid off in around 21 months. So that $600 has allowed them to basically pay that first loan off faster than they would have. And then they were able to take the $600 and the $60 minimum from the first card and then place it onto the second credit card and then pay that loan off. And then once they paid that loan off, they were able to take the minimum from that card, which was $150, and take the minimum from the first card and the $600, and then pay off loan C. If they were to do it in that order, it should take roughly 21 months to pay everything off. Now, had they paid these credit cards and this car loan off by just paying the minimum, and they didn't use the $600 extra, it would have taken 49 months for them to pay everything off. Just to give you a point of reference for this. In this situation, if you do the calculations, the amount of interest that they will have paid on this particular situation would be close to around $1,500, $1,500 basically. Had they took the 49 months instead and not paid the extra $600 towards the debts, it would have taken 14,000. I'm sorry, not 14,000, 4,200 extra dollars to pay everything off in interest because of the extra months that they would have taken, because that's more than 100% more months to pay it off if they just paid the minimum. So you would be looking at close to $4,200 in interest extra. Now, had they went with the debt avalanche, where they would be paying the higher interest rates off, of course, the $1,500 interest that they paid on all of that, it would have been a lower amount. I didn't do the calculations on that, but I know that it would have been a lower amount because they would have been paying towards the higher interest rate first. And then mathematically, that would basically make it to where the amount of interest that they would pay across the lifetime of those loans would be less. And when I say that, I mean if they included the $600 extra every month. Or even if they didn't include the $600 extra, they would have still just paid a way bigger amount. If in both situations, let's say they didn't use the $600 extra, the avalanche still would have had, you would have paid less interest towards the avalanche than the snowball. Okay, but with the $600, it does, of course, it allows you to pay everything off quicker. This concept would have worked whether you paid the extra $600 or not. The difference is it just would have taken longer. I just threw the $600 in there because a lot of times we have extra money, and it's best to just go ahead and pay things off as quickly as possible if you do have the extra money. Okay, so a lot of what goes into this concept is the fact that it psychologically makes it easier for you to continue in the process. It gives you some level of discipline. And like I said, the difference between the snowball and the avalanche is that it's not mathematically superior to the avalanche, but it gives you the confidence to continue. Sometimes the best plan is not the most efficient one. Sometimes it's the one that will basically yield you the results that you need. And some people need that extra push. Now, in a situation where there are situations where I would tell you, do not use the debt snowball. For example, if you have a loan with an obscene interest rate, let's say you have some credit card and it's 50%. I would tell you to attack that 50% loan. You know, if that card is 50% and all your other cards are under 25%, then I would say attack the 50% first, because that would be in your best interest, because 50% stacks up quickly. So in that situation, you want to abandon that snowball and go with the avalanche. We're not going to go too far into the avalanche, but I'm just using that as an example of when you wouldn't use the snowball. Another situation where you wouldn't use the snowball is if you're financially disciplined. If you understand your finances, and if you don't need this video right now because you already understand how to pay your debts off, I would say don't use the snowball. Just go with the higher higher interest rate off first, because mathematically that is the superior, efficient way to pay your loans off. But that's basically the essence of how this works. And one model that you may want to follow in the future in reference to this is the best plan for anything, whether it's financial or anything else in your life, is the one that you will stick to. And this is one that a lot of people will stick to because they'll see the success in it. Oh, they pay this loan off. That gives them the confidence to stick to it. And they know that this next loan will be paid off fairly quickly. Once they pay the second one off, then they go on to the third one, so on and so forth until they get it all paid off. and then they get the results that they want. So that's basically the essence of the debt snowball. Please like and subscribe, and I appreciate all the time that you guys have taken to watch all of the videos that I've recorded so far. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me, and God bless.